Hi, everybody. Happy New Year. I'm Coach Lang. If you're new to me, in this channel, I talk about all things management, leadership, and personal development. So today, I'm going to talk about past year reviews or New Year's resolutions. So if you're like me, I'm kind of sick and tired of New Year's resolutions, because they don't work. I've tried years and years of either coming up with an intention, coming up with a word of the year, resolutions, fitness, right? Exercise more, eat better, and things like that. It never worked. And by the time it's February, we're all tired of resolutions, and the normalcy happens. People get used to the year, and the same old, same old. Sounds familiar? So the past few years, I've started using Tim Ferriss's way of doing a past year review. So what it is you're gonna look at your previous year. If using your calendar helps, notes, if you're, somebody like me who keep notes about, big celebrations of the year. Obviously with COVID, we probably had a lot less of that. But you look at the past year and then write out some of the things that has given you positive peak experiences. So write that down. That's one column. Positive things that you've done or scheduled in the past year that gave you positive peak experiences. Okay. Now you do the reverse. The next column are the negatives. What are the negatives that has given you negative peak experiences? Write those down. And then what you do with those lists are you look at them and identify the top 20%. What are the top leaders of that positive list? Uh, Identify those and then schedule them for this year, 2022. And when you look at the negatives, what are the top leaders, top 20% of negatives? And then by all means, don't do any of them. So I'll give you an example. So my positives in 2020 were, when I get to do massages, I just feel so much more able to think. Self-care, right? So massages were my top 20 positives. Being able to have thinking time that I schedule. So once a quarter, I'll have all day at the spa, and then just me. I get to get a book, get a journal. I get to think. I could not talk to anyone. It's amazing. I get to set some of my mini goals for just a quarter. Kind of reassess and review. I love that. Um, Meditation, that's a big one, and exercise. I know I don't love exercises, but when I do, I love it. Less caring about what people think. So those are my one, two, three, four, five, about six. So those are my top six. So in 2021, when the new year happened, I scheduled my massages, I scheduled my spa time. I made sure to meditate every single day. And in my next video, I will tell you about how my meditation journey happened and how it's going so far. Okay. So go ahead, list out all your positives, the top 20%, schedule them in your calendar because we all know, right? If it's scheduled, it'll happen. If it's not scheduled, most likely it won't happen because we would have forgotten about them. And about my negatives. So when I look at my negatives in 2020, obviously COVID is a big one, but that's something that's kind of out of our control. So I'm talking about things that you have control over. So things like taking on too much was my big negative. Just, yep, I'll do them. Saying yes to everything before I even have the time or the opportunity to really think about what I'm saying yes to. So that's a big one for myself. Hang out with people who's draining for me. That's a big one. I'm introverted, so I need my think time. I need my quiet time. I like deep conversations. I love that intimacy. So sometimes hanging out with people who doesn't love that, I can hang out with people like that, but over time it can be draining for me. Putting my needs last is another big negative. So taking on too much, saying yes, hanging up with people who drain me, putting my needs last. So those things, I really try and make sure I don't do them at all. For example, saying yes to everything. If anyone would ask me something, usually now I've had a year of practice, so now I go and respond with, let me think about that and get back to you, because this will allow me a little bit of time to process. I'm just somebody who takes a longer time to process. So obviously, hang out with people. Some of that, could be your family. You can't say no to that or completely just I'm not gonna hang out with you. So with that, I do. I call it moderation. So I'm gonna moderate that kind of relationship. I'm gonna moderate the frequency of the relationship in terms of how often I hang out, and that's okay. Sometimes that's a healthy balance, right? So I'm curious to hear about your positives and your negatives. What's the one positive and the one negative that you're going to take with you in 2022? What's the one positive you're going to schedule and one negative you're going to drop? And click on the subscribe button, click on the like button if this video is helpful for you so that other people can find this video as well. Okay, take care and have a great start to the year. Bye now.